please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Well, we've been telling you this news that 4 sitting judges of the Supreme Court will be speaking to the media in just a bit from now. And this is quite an unprecedented move. Ashmit Kumar, our colleague, is there. He joins in to tell us what to expect. Hi, Ashmit. There are a slew of issues that could possibly be on their minds, but do you have any reliable information on what might be the immediate reason for calling this press conference?
Well, what's in store? That's the big question that everyone does appear to be asking. As you rightly said, this is an unprecedented move. Never have we seen before a sitting Supreme Court judge addressing the media on issues that he feels are contemporary. And what makes it even more different, even more unprecedented, is that it's not just one single judge. It's the entire strength of the collegium. The collegium has the top 5 judges. This press conference is likely to have the entire strength of the collegium minus the Chief Justice of India. The Chief Justice of India, even as we speak, is still hearing matters in the apex court. The other top 4 senior judges are expected to be here in a while. They will be addressing a press conference. As to what is on the agenda, what are the issues to be discussed, well, just on entering Justice Chelameswar's residence, I had a brief word with him where I asked him how he was, and his response was a very curt saying, as bad as ever. That is the tone and the tenor. That is the message that Justice Chelameswar is sending out, that the status quo as it is, as far as judiciary is concerned, is bad as ever. And this does appear to be an implicit reference to the recent turbulence that we have seen in the apex court. Mind you, very recently, there was huge chaos within and outside the judiciary with respect to how the case was handled, the case which had raised questions of perhaps judicial corruption at the highest level, how that matter was handled, other sensitive matters about the functioning of the judiciary, about the functioning of the collegium. This does appear to be something that has angered not just Justice Chelameswar, but the 4 senior most judges, and they appear to be coming out here. They will be speaking to the media. We will be getting a better understanding of what the issues would be, but for now those words are ringing out loud by Justice Chelameswar that things are as bad as ever. Back to you.
I guess we don't have to wait very long to find out. 12:15 is the time that they've given out. Ashmit, thanks very much for now. Those are also live visuals that are coming in as the people start assembling over there ahead of the press conference. But visuals we're bringing to you from New Delhi. The 4 justices of the Supreme Court have arrived now at the venue for the press conference. Remember, Ashmit has been telling us what could possibly be on the minds of the 4 sitting SC judges, but let's see what they have to say. A couple of issues, actually. One has been this ongoing tussle between the executive and the judiciary over appointments. There could be the way certain cases have been handled. And so I think we'll just, it's advisable to actually hear out and not preempt what they have to say. But clearly, Nigel, I mean, I don't think we would have seen this picture very often of the 4 judges actually sitting side by side. And like Ashmit said, that barring the Chief Justice, the entire collegium in its entire strength is now present here.
All right, then I'm just looking at a couple of data points. In fact, the appointments to the Supreme Court and High Courts, they have fallen by around 126 in 2016, all the way to around 115 in 2017. That would mean only 12 new judges have been appointed to the High Courts in the last 3 months. So I think that could be, one of the factors that we're looking at. And as many as 9 High Courts are now being run by acting Chief Justices, and the Supreme Court is functioning with 25 judges, 6 short of the sanctioned strength, which is normally around 31.
Yeah, so there's been this ongoing tussle, actually, I think because of which, over how appointments should be done. But I think we're ready to hear them out.
I want to hear him. Please keep silence.
For being here on a very short notice, we thank each one of you. My dear friends, all of you know this is an extraordinary event.
So please little louder.
It's an extraordinary event in the history of any nation, and more particularly this nation, and extraordinary event in the history of this institution of judiciary. It is with no pleasure in our hearts we were compelled to take this decision to call for a press conference. For some time, the administration of the Supreme Court is not in order. Many things which are less than desirable which have happened in the last few months. Time and again, as senior members of the court, and goes without saying that we are the senior most judges of the country also by virtue of age and our office today, senior judges, we thought we owed a responsibility to the institution, to the nation. We tried to collectively persuade the Chief Justice that certain things are not in order, therefore you should take remedial measures. Unfortunately, our efforts failed. And my dear friends, we are all, four of us are convinced that unless this institution is preserved and it maintains its equanimity, the democracy will not survive in this country or any country. For the survival of a democracy, it is said, the hallmark of a good democracy is an independent and impartial judge. The judge is symbolic here, is the institution. Judge, the statement, but judge in the context means the judiciary. Now, well, anyway, a lot of things have been published in the press, pro, contrary, whatever it is. We are not entering a regular, it's not a political meeting where we go into all this controversy. But our efforts failed. Even this morning on a particular issue, four of us went and met the Honorable the Chief Justice of India with a specific request, which we could not unfortunately convince him that we were right and the appropriate decision is to be taken. We couldn't convince him. Therefore, we were left with no choice except to communicate it to the nation that please take care of the institution and take care of the nation, because we have heard a lot of wise men talking in this country earlier. I don't want another 20 years later some very wise man in this country blame that Chelameswar, Ranjan Gogol, Madan Lokur and Kurian Joseph sold their souls. They didn't take care of this institution. They didn't take care of the interests of this nation. We don't want it to be set. So we place it before the people of this country. That's all, gentlemen, we wanted to inform you.
Sir, what are the instances? Sir, what is the issue? What kind of issues?
So what can be done to preserve the integrity?
It's a press conference.
We call the press. Don't, please.
We are interested in the issue.
No.
We'll talk to you separately. It's a press. We wanted.
So what are the issues?
What happened this morning, sir? What happened this morning, sir?
See,
Can you give some instances? Yes.
I will tell you something. About a couple of months back, exact date and all we'll give, four of us gave a signed letter to the Chief Justice of India. We'll give copies of that letter. You can call out from the letter what exactly happened. And we wanted a particular thing to be done in a particular manner. A thing was done in a particular, thing was done, but in such a way that it left too many questions, it raised further questions and further doubts about the integrity of the institution. That's what we believe. And many more things happened. So, and this morning also we had to go on something like this.
Sir, what happened this morning?
One. Give a copy of the letter. The issues are highlighted in the letter. Issue. We leave it. In a few minutes, well, don't overhear us.
No, sir, we're not over here. We're very busy typing.
What happened this morning, sir?
Sorry.
What happened this morning, sir?
We four of us went, made a request.
Sir, could you please be a little louder?
Four of us went, met the Chief Justice of India, made a request that a particular thing is not in order, therefore it should be rectified. In spite of four colleagues, senior-most colleagues of the country, of the Chief Justice and senior-most judges of this country requesting, the Honorable Chief Justice thought that we are not right.
What was that issue, sir? What was the issue? Why are you forced to maintain secrecy even now?
Sorry.
Why the secrecy even now? Why don't you speak out? What is this?
No, but the reason is this. Everybody knows everything. See, I'll tell you something. See, look here, we are not running politics here. And then, somebody making a statement, somebody contradicting it tomorrow, all this.
It leaves a lot of things to speculation. And it's just speculative.
All right, we'll tell you. Giving the names, give the letter. Then once you look at the letter, you will know what exactly the complaint which you are making. We'll just give you a copy of the letter.
There is no speculation here. We are going to give you a copy of a letter which we had written 2 months back. All the issues are spelled out there. Go through that letter, you will know what the issues are. Do we have to repeat those issues again?
But today morning, is there any specific issue?
It is an issue of assignment of a case, which is an issue raised in that letter.
So was the issue today? This is about lawyers thing?
Is it about lawyers?
Yes.
So, may I ask you a question, please?
Yes, no, just this lawyer.
Just give not this one. Not only about it.
Sir, according to you, what are the remedies now? Do you want the Chief Justice to be impeached?
Remedies? Sir, we are not saying anything. Let the nation decide. We are nobody's to decide.
So, may I ask you a question, please? Do you believe that there is interference by the executive?
Madam, please.
Then we need no interference from the executive. Please let us know if there is any interference from the executive with the judiciary. I need an answer to this question, sir.
Yes.
I do.
I think whatever...
Guys, relax.
I think whatever Justice Chelameswar has told you is the whole of it. It's a discharge of a debt to the nation that has brought us here. And we think that we have discharged a debt to the nation by telling you what is what. More is there in the letter. Beyond this, I don't think there is any other issue we need to address.
Sir, one small thing.
Where is the letter?
I'll just get it in a minute.
No, just
Can you send Verma?
So, there is a small practical problem, sir. Sir, there is a small practical problem. Right now, nation is watching you. And if the Xerox and everything, photocopying takes time, it would be further speculation. So you have said one of the issue was Judge Loya's death. If you could spell out other issues. Manish, I'm asking a question, don't
just give us a copy of the letter. One copy is good enough.
Yeah. Verma?
Okay, it's in my car.
It's in my car. Just give me 1 minute. We are getting that. Just give us 1 minute.
Sir, one question that 4 judges, the senior most judges of the Supreme Court coming together, organizing a press conference. It is seen as 4 judges breaking the ranks. Do you think that from here on, the administration of the Supreme Court would go on in a routine and in a harmonious manner?
Yeah, well, nobody's breaking ranks. Nobody's breaking ranks. Nobody.
Sir, what do you think is the remedy now?
So, all of this boils down to more transparency, harming the work of the judiciary.
We are speaking for ourselves. We have not consulted. Since we are in the first senior most 4, we discussed. Since we 4 went in the morning, we are speaking for ourselves. We didn't discuss it with anybody else.
So is this a kind of no confidence against the Chief Justice?
Sir, don't put words into it.
I'm just asking, since some people have come out and...
Sir, what are the issues you are seeking redressal for, sir?
Okay, we'll make copies in 2 minutes.
Ma'am.
Just 2 minutes we can make it. I'll just read the one of them.
Just say this is the letter. You will get copy. Come on. Give me that this copy because the only copy.
Now, my dear friends, we have 1 copy of the letter. We need to take copies of it. Just wait for 10 minutes. We'll give copies to. Only copy available right now. Just give us 10 minutes. We'll get
copies here.
Huh?
In the meantime, could you read out a few points from the letter?
No, copies have to be made in the meantime. How will we start it?
You make copies and 5 when you pass it on. Because this is the only one.
Just be careful.
I think it's about that.
Now.
What will you do now? So what is the next step? What is the next step?
Tomorrow is Saturday, and day after tomorrow is Sunday. Monday we'll go to the court and decide cases.
Sir, is it about the constitution benches also?
Sorry?
Is it about the composition of the constitution benches also? Senior judges are not included. That is one of the
You read the letter, you'll get answers to all these questions. Just have patience.
Can we construe this one as a sign of protest, and two, now what is expected of the chief?
Well, that's what we failed.
It is not. You may construe it as a sign of our responsibility to the nation and nothing more. I think we have answered all and we have made ourselves very clear. There is nothing further to say.
Well, of course they'll go. Why not?
Thank you very much, sir, and happy New Year, sir.
Well, I guess the mystery is only deepened since the start of the press conference. We do know that what the judges are speaking about is the case regarding Justice Loya's death and the subsequent committee which has been formed to probe that death. We have with us also Prashant, who joins in for this. Prashant, you want to take us through the circumstances? I mean, I think it's a 2014 case, right?
Yes, it is. And, you know, there was a news report which had come out which kind of put grave doubts about the manner in which the circumstances under which Justice Loya had passed away. And then there was a plea which was made in the court, in the Supreme Court, and the court agreed to hear the matter, Justice Loya's death matter. The immediate provocation, and I think it is very clear because Justice Chelameswar said that, a couple of times actually, that this morning also we went to the Chief Justice of India, or all four of us went to the Chief Justice of India to try to persuade him in a specific matter, but we failed. When he was asked a couple of times by reporters, what was that matter? I mean, what was the immediate provocation? It is not just one thing, as was made clear subsequently, but the immediate provocation seems to be the manner in which the bench, which has been constituted by the Chief Justice of India. I mean, the Chief Justice of India, as we just heard a couple of months back, say so himself, is essentially the master of the roster. I mean, he is, and he has the sole powers to constitute benches to hear matters. But the convention has been that senior judges, the seniority is always considered while constituting benches to hear important matters. So the immediate provocation, as subsequently in that press conference Justice Chelameswar sort of clarified, is the bench which was constituted to hear Justice Loya's death, and how, obviously clearly the four of them are unhappy in the manner in which it was done. And also in which the manner in which other benches have been constituted. They said that a couple of months back, I think 4 months back, 4 or 5 months back, the four of them had gone to the Chief Justice of India with regards to a separate matter, and in that particular case as well, they were unable to convince the Chief Justice. But what has led to this press conference, which is actually unprecedented, we don't remember in memory something of this sort happening, is essentially the simple fact that there was an incident this morning, post which they decided. There seems to be a hastily sort of convened press conference, because I think they were saying that they're going to make copies of that letter which will provide more details.
Just a point of which we should bear in mind, there were some doubts expressed on Justice Loya's death and the circumstances surrounding it. This is not what they appear to be raising. It is not the suspicion surrounding the death. It's only the assignment of the case and the importance given to seniority or not given.
Administration within the Supreme
Court that is being challenged. So I think we should get an expert who knows this very well. Kamini Jaiswal, senior Supreme Court advocate, has joined us on the phone line. Ms. Jaiswal, how would you react to this? Is this a grave threat? Yes, please.
I am not shocked, because this has been going on for the last couple of months. All of us have been talking about it. All of us have done whatever is possible within our means, but things had just gone above the head. If you want to save every brick of the Supreme Court seems to be crumbling. It is high time something like this was done. And I am, even though, it is historical, but to save this great institution, some action like this had to be taken.
But ma'am,
I have never seen Supreme Court so low, so low. I've been here for over 30 years. I've never seen it is at the lowest bit today.
Okay.
What is being done?
Can you elaborate, ma'am? What are you seeing as irregularities that these judges are pointing out to?
I will tell you what the irregularities are.
Yes.
You know, none of us ever doubted this proposition that the Chief Justice is one amongst equals.
Yes.
But the Chief Justice has the advantage of being the master of Rome. He can assign cases to judges, to the benches that he wants. But the practice has always been that a roster is made, and invariably the roster is made subject-wise, and then cases are allocated. You don't pick up cases individually and allocate it to the judges. Now, every case which is very nationally sensitive, right from the time of that, suicide note of Fulch, that the Chief Justice picks it up and sends it to one of the junior-most judges. You send cases, if court 1 can't hear it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you send it to court number 10. Then another case is picked up and sent to court number 12. And we have been found, in the last couple of months, this has been happening regularly. Every important, sensitive matter where they want a particular, every judge has some philosophy or the other, and we all know about that. So you pick up, you can't post matters before judges wanting a particular result. You know what result you're going to get. So you post it. You say, if I post it before a judge who is inclined towards the government, he will give an answer in favor of the government. So therefore, that is not how you pick and choose. Then you're as good as fixing benches. Or you are, just allocating cases, picking up and choosing your, the junior-most judges.
But Ms. Jaiswal, if I can come in here, you're saying that you're not at all surprised or shocked by what has happened today. This is an unprecedented move where we've seen 4 sitting judges, pretty much virtually the collegium minus the Chief Justice of India, addressing the media, talking about what they see are lapses within the Supreme Court. But what happens now? I mean, there was a sort of glib comment there from Justice Chelameswar that tomorrow is Saturday and then we have Sunday and we'll be back in court on Monday. But given what has transpired today, how did the Supreme Court go back to work as business as usual on Monday?
The Supreme Court has not, Supreme Court has not been disbanded, no? The Supreme Court continues. The court continues to exist. The judges continue. But it is time that the nation knew what is going on in the Premier Court. The people must know this thing that, what is happening going around, and you then attribute motives to somebody, then the benches get up and impose costs of 25 lakhs on a PIL. They have constituted an SIT for the 84 riot case. What was that matter that was listed? Constitute an SIT in relation to another important matter. And then you impose cost of 25 lakhs. Just because, it's crazy what is going on. I'm saying I'm not shocked because I have been, all this that is going on requires something like this to happen.
Ma'am, let me just ask you to hold on for a minute. We've got Indira Jaisingh also joining us now. Ashmit Kumar, our colleague who was at the press conference, is in conversation with Indira Jaisingh. Ashmit, over to you.
This press conference has left me totally dissatisfied. I completely agree with the approach of the 4 judges, namely that they're concerned about the welfare and well-being of the institution. So are we. And I welcome the fact that they've given a press conference. However, I have a question to ask them. What has led to the present situation? Why is there this divide between the Chief Justice on the one hand and 4 judges on the other hand? I need to know, is there an interference by the executive with the judiciary? That's the only question that really matters to the nation as a whole.
Let me also just take a cue, ma'am, that this move was low on detail but high on symbolism. 4 members of the collegium are out here. They're very clear. They're not calling it a protest, but nonetheless, very high on symbolism. What do you take from that?
I agree with you. It's not about protests. I agree with them, rather. This is not about protest. On the symbolism, I think it's historic. It's phenomenal. It's well done. I congratulate them for having come out and become accountable to the nation, but they have not gone far enough.
Just one last question. Now what falls on the Chief Justice of India? What response is now expected?
The response now expected is communication. The response now expected is consensus between the 5 senior-most judges of the Supreme Court. This must happen.
historic day, ma'am. Thank you so much.